Hey y'all, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Lindy. I hope you feel better. Hope you feel better. Nicholas, thank you so much for the 6-7. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. 6-7. I don't know why gifting stopped showing up where I can put it on the screen like that. I don't know what I gotta do to fix that. It's not showing up anywhere. It's very weird. It's not recognizing it. How do you debate a silent person? I don't know. Is this a riddle? Is this some type of riddle? I don't know the answer. Hey Carolyn, hey Ogden, hey Lindy, hey VJ. How's everybody doing today? Tony, I see you in there too. Blinded, what's going on? Itty bitty, better known as Dolphin. What's going on? Ryan, how you doing? Just seeing who's all here. Oh, I thought this was like I thought the answer was sorry, I didn't random I didn't I meant it like I thought you were asking me a question like how do you debate a silent person? Like take out their hearing aids or something. I didn't. I thought it was some like weird joke. I didn't think it was like a like really how do you debate someone? Um, I would say uh usually people go silent when they don't have anything else to say, right? Like you that's cool. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize what that was. Usually people go silent when they don't have much to say, right? And I think that that's pretty important. You guys know I'm rarely silent. Great for doing these debates, but y'all should keep Ari in your thoughts and prayers. Since just being completely honest. Um, but no, when somebody just refuses to respond, then you stop asking questions, right? Then you stop asking questions. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really important that when people are quiet, that is the time when they are most likely to be listening. You know, so you stop asking questions and you start just making statements and force them to you know force them to either listen to your statements or respond with something. You know, I guess telepathically is also an answer. Okay. I guess that is technically also an answer. I was trying to give like a like one in this world, but I mean if you got one if you are telepathic, then please for the love of God, um like do it that way. Yeah. while you're in there, um, just like implant some stuff in their head, I guess. I mean, you got all sorts of superpowers now, you know? No point in like wasting time trying to convince them if you can just go into their brain like a worm inside of RFK, you know? why why waste your time with all the rest of that stuff, you know? He's the president. RFK is not the president. I guess RFK would be the president of like of what, brain worms and raccoon dicks? If I send you a hat, would you wear it? That depends on the hat. Are you gonna send me a shit hat? I don't know. So I guess that. If you send me a hat I like, then I'll wear it. If you send me a shit hat, then I'm not gonna wear it. First of all, I got a big ass dome. Okay? I have a big ass dome. All right. I wear a hat size uh like hey Dr. Carla. Uh I wear a hat size like 7 5/8 to 7 3/4, depending on the hat. All right. So I got a. That's why these things barely snapped forward, dude. It says like what, 3 snaps on it? Yeah. All right. So I got a big old dome, bro. I got a big old dome. All right. So Janelle, thank you so much. So no, I love good hats. You guys know I used to wear a different hat like almost every night. I kind of stopped doing that. I'm probably gonna start doing it soon. I don't know. I started wearing some different stuff and hey, Ange. I started wearing some different stuff and doing. I don't know. I'm just gonna come hang out. All right. Well, we got. Looks like Simone is calling in, and we're gonna get to them. And we got somebody over in the TikTok chat. We're gonna get to everybody in just a second. Shave, lose 1 snap. I might. And then all of a sudden, don't shave. Just don't shave again, guys. I don't know why you guys didn't like seeing. First of all, I'm starting to get offended. Okay, I'm starting to get offended on how much you guys hated seeing my face. All right. Everybody was like, I saw his face, and now I can't stand him, and that is kind of offensive. All right. You looked 15. Well, I was just trying to attract the MAGA into the live. Okay. I was trying to get some more MAGA in here. Okay. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate that. It's kind of warm in here. I didn't turn on my fan. Maybe I should go turn on my fan. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you, Ange. I appreciate that. I don't got much beard, okay, but I'm doing my best over here, okay? I'm doing my best over here. I can't make the hair grow, you know? I can't make the hair grow. I'm doing my best. Hey, Amy. I'm doing my best. All right. I'm trying real hard. Okay. I'm trying real hard over here. Every night I just look at my beard and I'm like, grow better. And it doesn't listen to me. You know? It doesn't listen to me. Oh my god. There you go. That too. Okay. Charmin, thank you so much for lighting up those finger hearts. We are on a Monday, so we are trying to hit up that gift gallery. So if you guys would like to help out with that, appreciate that. Also, make sure you guys are sending those heart me's. All right, let's get the headphones. This one doesn't know. I swear, is this weird? I'm gonna say something weird. I'm gonna say something weird, okay? Just hold on. Okay, hold on while I say something weird, okay? Um, I think my left ear hole is smaller than my right ear hole. Does that make sense? Is there a doctor in the house that studied this? Are your ear holes different sizes? It makes sense. I'm not crazy. Because every time, dude, I can keep this right earphone, like this right headset phone, like it fits perfectly. The left side, the whole live, you'll see me messing with it because like it keeps falling out. But I'm also OCD as fuck. Like I'm like super OCD. So like I can't put different things in them. You know what I'm saying? So like what do I do? You know? I have over the ear ones. I used to use them, but I like the way these look on camera better. You know? All right. So I'm not weird. I was thinking about that. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was thinking about that just like the other day. I was just like, man, this thing keeps falling out. I was like, maybe my left ear hole is smaller than my right ear hole. And I just wasn't a huge fan of that thought. But there we are. Add earwax to the one that doesn't work. Where am I supposed to get earwax? Are you suggesting that I get like black market earwax? Because I don't know where to get black market earwax at. See, I love all the people in here that are like, put a larger one in this one, a smaller one in this one. Did you not just hear me say I was OCD as fuck? Did you guys not just hear me? Did you guys not just hear me say that? Okay. The idea of having headphones that are two different sizes will drive me much more crazy than having them fit my ears. Okay. Just thought I'd let you know that right now. Get it from the other ear, extract earwax from my right ear or my left ear, put it in my right ear, and then cover it. Okay, I think I'm just gonna deal with the headphone. Okay. Y'all are causing me to do like damn near surgical procedures on my ears every night. This just seems crazy at this point. Okay. I'm extracting earwax from either myself or other people, right? Which like I guess whatever. All right. I don't understand the. I gotta somehow find this earwax from like either my other ear or another person, which that's a weird like Facebook Marketplace post, you know, like wanted earwax. Don't be weird, you know. Wanted your earwax. Just don't be weird about it, okay? This is normal. All right. I promise I'm not strange. Just come over and let me take your earwax. Anyways. The candles, you're buying earwax candles? That does seem kind of weird. All right, we'll talk about earwax in a second. Let me answer a phone call real quick. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
How you do? How you doing today, Polly?
I'm doing well. Are you
Okay,
here
your
to talk
question
about
is, why do you still
earwax
support Trump?
transplants? This isn't about earwax transplants.
No, it's not about the earwax, bro. That's between you and your comments. But your question is, why do you support Trump? I support Trump because the simple fact, I used to be a Democrat supporter, but I see what Joe Biden did in his 4 years, and why would I want to support another Democrat in my life? That's why I support Trump.
Well, first of all, Biden doesn't represent all Democrats.
I mean, what I've seen from Biden's administration in that 4 years and what they've done.
Did you not hear the words that just came out of my mouth?
Say again, sir?
I just said some words. It doesn't sound like you heard them or understood them, so I'm going to try to repeat them. Biden doesn't represent all Democrats. So, like, even if you weren't a big fan of Biden, that doesn't mean that he represents all Democrats or all people that would represent them, right? So, like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so
okay, well,
you should. No, I'm talking.
Let's be civil.
No, let's be honest. We are being civil.
I'll let
at least
you
I'm
talk.
being civil.
Let me talk.
You don't let me talk though.
You're not letting me talk. You're not being civil.
I am letting you talk.
So let me talk and explain myself. Then you can conversate
you
with
think
me.
I don't
but
know
what
who
you're doing
you
is
are?
you're over talking me.
You think I don't know who you are, sir? You think I don't know who you are?
This is the problem with you donkeys on the left. You don't let nobody talk.
Sir, I was literally just letting you hear out of common courtesy. I know who you are. And you've been blackballed from every major live that exists on TikTok or YouTube. Okay? Like, literally, you've been blackballed. You would think for somebody who, like, literally all he does is try to get up on leftist lives, and he's been blackballed from every single one, you think he would be a little bit more, like, you know, considerate, you know? But if you're just gonna come up here and do exactly why nobody wants to talk to you, like, immediately, while I'm just trying to, like, have a conversation with you, then nope, that's not a problem. Plus, calling me a donkey is not really, really a great way to start the live either. You know, I would advise, if you want me to, like, talk to you, that you don't start by name calling immediately. You know? So, anyways, if you still support Trump, or you're still a Republican and you would like to talk to me, you can join the guest request box or call on the number that's above my head. But yeah, anyways, so back to earwax. No, back to earwax. Shay, thank you so much for lighting up the hat and mustaches off that gift gallery already right off the bat. I really appreciate that. Tata, thank you so much for lighting up the roses. Charmin, thank you so much for lighting up the roses and the finger hearts. I really, really appreciate that. I like when we just get started on the hard ones right off the bat. That makes me really, really happy. I appreciate y'all. So thank you so much. Yeah, like give it 5 minutes before you start just yelling slurs at me, And I think that's a decent time frame, you know? I think it's a decent time frame. Tolly, thank you so much for lighting up those hand hearts. I really, really appreciate it. Huge W's in the chat for Shay and Tolly for lighting those things up. I really, really appreciate that. Also, Tony, thank you so much for the 20 pounds for Super Chat. I believe that's pounds. Thank you so much for the 20 pounds Super Chat. And it says, you are amazing. Also, this was only Tony's 5th Super Chat, which I just feel honored for that, right? So can we give Tony a big W's in the chat for me being the recipient of his 5th Super Chat ever? That is just absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Tony. And thank you for letting me know I'm amazing. That feels very nice. Yeah, I do love little stickers. I do love little stickers. Hello, how are you?
Great.
Awesome. How old are you?
18.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yep.
Awesome. Why is that?
I'm a Christian, and I want to support a
What year
Christian
did you
man.
graduate high school?
Right, this year.
This year?
Yes.
Oh. Who was president when you were born?
Obama.
Obama? God, that's actually accurate. Holy fuck. That's depressing. Holy shit.
Okay.
That's the most depressing thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
Right.
No, just like stand by. Like you're right. I believe you. Like truthfully, that's an insane thing that I just heard, that Obama was president when you were born, and that actually makes you. Is that right? Oh wait, no. If it was Obama, that'd be 2009. That doesn't make you old enough, right?
Okay, I made a mistake.
Yeah, that makes you 17. Yeah.
Well, okay, how am I supposed to
It's
know?
actually close though. It's actually, we're only like 8 months away though, right? That's
No.
wild.
Cricket.
I don't know if you're actually lying about your birthday or if you actually just don't know who was president. I don't know, because both of those things are totally like completely possible.
I mean, I said Obama, but it could have been, I don't know, the other guy.
The other guy?
I don't know. I'm not old.
You're not old? No, you're 18. We just established that.
18 is not old. I'm trying to say I'm not as old as you, so I obviously wasn't there, or I obviously don't know.
All right. Well, that's fine. So you said you're a Christian?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why is that?
That's just what I grew up on.
Oh, so you don't have a mind of your own? You're just going off of what your parents said? Actually, that makes sense. You're literally barely an adult. So
no,
I guess that makes
have
sense.
a mind of my own.
Well, it doesn't sound like it. I asked you why you were a Christian, and you couldn't actually articulate any type of argument towards that. And all you could articulate was that you grew up that way, right?
I mean, if you grew up somewhere else, then something else, then you would not still have it as your age.
No, I grew up a Christian. I'm not a Christian anymore.
Okay, that's you, but I believe in the Bible, so.
Okay, why is that?
I just believe in it.
Why?
That's just what I believe in.
Yeah, and why? I'm just asking you why. I'm not asking you anything complicated. Why do you believe in it?
Because I'm a Christian. Like, you're
just
repeating
a Christian
your
because
own
you believe in
question.
the Bible, and you believe in the Bible because you're a Christian.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. You do understand that's called like circular logic, right?
No, I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. That's called circular logic, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, anyways, what does that have to do with why you support Donald Trump?
Because Trump's a Christian.
And what makes you think that?
He said it himself.
All right, so am I.
Say it again?
So am I then.
Okay, congratulations.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not a boy. Stop saying he.
Okay.
Okay. Awkward. Guys, why is it so quiet in here? This is very awkward, guys. Okay.
It is just kind of funny that, like, just for, like, and I don't know if that person was 18 or not. I don't know whether they were 18 or not. They very well could have been. I don't know. All right. I really don't know. Um, but it is funny, right? It is funny how at that age you just have zero ability to deal with even a moment of silence. You know? Like, that was it. Like, I asked a few simple questions and just let her talk. You know? We were talking about this. I was actually talking about this with somebody, because, like I said, like, last week we went to a funeral, and there was this, one of the family members of the funeral, and I think he's like 17 or 16 or 17 or something like that, and he just could not stand being in there. And I was talking to another guy that was my age, and I was like, man, this, like, quiet reflection time is so nice, isn't it? Like, it's crazy how, like, much more you enjoy just, like, silence a little bit when you're a little bit older, and you don't feel awkward in silence, you know? But anyways, I just want to know. They just want to know why. If you think, look, just being honest with you, okay, if you think, okay, if you're out there and you're a Christian, okay, which is totally fine. I have no judgment against you for being Christian, right? If you're a Christian and you've read your Bible at all, right? And you look at Donald Trump and you go, that's a Christian, then you're not a Christian. Just thought I'd let you know. Like, truthfully, like, if you believe that, like, inside, like, Donald Trump is representing the values that Christ portrayed in the Bible, if you believe that, then you're not a Christian. Just thought I'd let you know that right now. And I have no problem calling you out on your bullshit. Okay? Like, and I think that all Christians and non-Christians all can just get together and agree with me on that one. Okay? You're not a Christian, all right? So, just being honest. And I don't know a Christian out there that would disagree with me. Maybe the pastor that was out there blessing his golden statue, maybe he'd disagree with me. You know? Um Big T, thank you so much for the hearts. Sauce, thank you so much for the DJ glasses, clearing that out. I think I already said thank you to Tully, but thank you and Tully for clearing out those hand hearts too. We're just knocking out some of the, I think we're almost halfway through the gift gallery already. I'm loving this. So this is going. I got the hearts as a gift goal. I think I need like 5 of those from one person to help clear those out. Also, of course, I do have super chats, gifting, all that fun and stuff. So too. So if you guys like support, I really appreciate you. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, and send those heart me's too. That's that's super important. I really appreciate that. The heart me's and the tapping and the thingies. Okay. Corey, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It says, "Hey MAGA, don't blow your hate loads as quickly as you blow your other ones." They gotta, it's a lot of hate buildup. All right. It's a lot of hate buildup that they have to try to release, So it can be quick. It can be quick. Thank you, Corey, for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. Big W's in the chat for Corey. Also, Cat Mom, thank you so much for clearing those donuts out of my gift gallery too. I really appreciate that. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Sounds like there's a little echo coming off of something. I can hear my voice back in. Are you like on speaker or like some weird Bluetooth or something? I don't know what it is.
Hold on, I can turn off my Bluetooth.
I appreciate that.
All right,
honestly,
good.
it's not making you sound very good anyway.
Can you hear me? Is that better? I'm closer to the mic now.
Yeah, I think you might. Are you on? I'm assuming you're on a phone. I would advise like replacing that phone at some point, just because your microphone is pretty shot. But regardless, how old are you? No,
25.
I can still hear it. Is the stream on in the background? Is that what it is?
Hold on, let me take off my case.
Anyways, y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for the people who just sent those hearts too. I think I saw Ange with one. Randy, thank you so much. Big T sent one to me and one to the backup account. So thank you so much, Big T. I appreciate that. Oh, he left. All right, well, that's okay. Mike Paul, thank you so much for that hand heart or the heart too. I appreciate that. That voice was really, really rough. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me all right?
So much better than that last guy. Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. So how old are you?
18.
Awesome. What year were you born?
2006.
No, see, that doesn't work, man. See, look, I'm not even great at math, but I know that don't work. All right.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, 2006 would make you either 19 or 20, depending on when your birthday is, but not 18, bud.
Well, I turned 19 very soon. So,
if
it's
you
different because when your
turned
birthday
19 very
exactly.
soon, you still wouldn't be born in 2006. Okay? Like, this is... like, that's actually worse, I think. All right? I think that's actually worse. Like, it's 2026, right? That was 20 years ago. I think this is actually the last caller that I could barely hear. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Sorry, I accidentally hung up last time.
You're fine, but I can still kind of hear my voice in the background. That's my problem, man. I don't want to hear my voice.
So you don't know what that is?
All right, I didn't hear it that time, so we'll give it a shot. How old are you?
I'm 25.
All right. Do you still support Trump?
I do.
All right. Why is that?
His border policies and his foreign policies.
His border policies and his foreign policies. Are you still on that Bluetooth by any chance?
No, I'm not on the Bluetooth.
Are you?
I might just need to clean my my microphone again.
It's something, dude, because you sound like okay, he left. Oh no, you're still here. My bad. You just sound really, really horrible, man. It's like maxing out my volume controls on here. Yeah, it's super crackly and robotic, man. I'd love to talk to you about the things that you're talking about. It's just kind of hard for everybody else to listen to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and drop you, man. If you can fix oh shoot, what happened? Sorry, I think hold on. Sorry, y'all. I think I just disconnected from my own show.
You are connected as the host. Welcome, host. You
Hi.
are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I somehow got disconnected from my own thing. All right, we're going to talk to somebody else. I said I have no problem talking to the guy. He sounds horrible, man. And it's not even him. It's the microphone. The microphone sounds god awful. Jesus. I didn't know they started delivering Trump phones already, but I guess so. That's crazy. He's calling from another dimension. I feel like calls from another dimension would have better quality. Honestly. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
29.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I don't think I do, but I don't think that he delivered.
You don't think he delivered?
I won't.
Well, I could have told
Yeah.
you that before you voted for him, sir. He didn't deliver on anything he wanted to do in his first term either.
I thought he was going to do mass deportation, and I kind of fell for it.
Okay. Well, how did you think he was going to do that?
I just thought that he was going. I mean, he was doing it up until Minnesota.
No, he wasn't.
I think at that point it started to capitulate a little bit.
No, he wasn't. He was never doing mass deportation. He was just doing inhumane deportation. It's different.
I mean, what the emotion tethered to it is irrelevant to the desire that I wanted it mass. You know?
Yeah, I'm telling you, what your desire for mass never ever happened, right? All he did was do less deportations and just treat people worse. That was it.
I don't think he did less deportations.
He did. In 2025, he did 600,000. In 2025, he did 600,000 deportations. That was almost 100,000 less than Biden did in 2024.
Okay. Do you think there's any nuance to that or no?
What nuance would there be?
Oh, like the amount that Biden did relative to the amount that Trump is going to do 1 year versus 4 years.
You're talking about a relative number of deportations in the future. So what are we, Miss Cleo over here, man? What are we talking about? What Trump is going to do? You said he did it. I'm not talking about what he will do. I mean, at the rate he's going, he's not even gonna in 4 years, he's not even gonna hit probably 3 years of any point in time of the Obama administration.
You'd agree with me, but now we're taking a third party. We're talking about Biden, right? You're comparing Biden to Trump. And
do you believe that Biden did mass deportation?
No.
Neither do I. That's why I'm making the comparison, sir. If I don't believe that Biden did mass deportations and Trump is less deportations than Biden, then how could I then extrapolate from that Trump is doing mass deportation?
Because what we were talking about, you brought up this point. It's not really relevant, but it was just saying, well, Biden did more deportations than Trump is going to do in 2024 alone. And I'm saying, well, Biden did 1.5 on the record deportations, 1.5 million. Oh,
he did much more than that.
Right?
I'm pretty sure. But regardless, sir, I was just making a comparison due to your term of mass deportations. Unless we need to maybe we need to level set on what mass deportation is.
Yeah, actually we should. Do you consider border turnarounds to be part of the deportation number?
Well, they are part of the deportation numbers. That's just not what I consider. That's what Customs and Border Protection and Homeland Security consider.
Under that logic, if we were to remove border
technically
turnarounds,
border turnarounds don't count in it. I would count it, but border turnarounds don't count in it. You literally have to be
you just said
detained.
It is deportation. So is it? Or
yeah, and I'm correcting myself, sir. Have you ever misspoke before?
I misspoke. I just don't know what you're saying.
I said something, and then I said, actually, sorry, I apologize. I'm sorry that hurt your feelings. I'm saying that actually the border turnarounds don't count towards the deportation numbers unless you're actually apprehended and arrested, right? So if you're just denied entry, that doesn't count towards the deportation numbers. But if you're actually arrested at the border, that does count for deportation numbers. So I was just clarifying what I was saying.
It's all good. So I was just trying to engage and say that Biden did roughly 1.5 if we were to exclude border turnarounds, right? 1.5 deportations.
Again, I don't believe border turnarounds count towards that number. Again, apprehensions at the border.
I'm saying they don't. I agree with you. I'm saying the 1.5 million was not.
Well, I don't believe your number is correct.
Border turnarounds, I think it was 4 It was 4 million.
I
or something
highly
like
doubt that
to
he
include
had
border
almost
tournaments.
700,000 in his last year and had almost that same amount over the entire 3 years prior to that. I'm sorry, I would need some type of data on that.
Okay. Oh my goodness. What you said that Biden in 2024 was going to do more deportations than Trump did,
No, I said that Biden
right?
in 2024 did more than Trump did in 2025.
I don't think that's true.
It is. It's
I think in
685,000 to
2024 he did
600,000.
like 300,000 in 2024.
685,000.
I think that's including border turnarounds.
Sir, border turnarounds don't count towards this number. It's border apprehensions do. Okay.
Okay, fine. You're just getting into linguistics. I
No,
agree with
because
you.
there are different. There
Principally,
is
I agree
a
with you.
difference.
Border
There is a
apprehensions
difference
are
between
included
border
in that number. I
turnarounds
agree with you.
and border
I'm saying
apprehensions.
the reason the border apprehension thing is something I have to drill down on is because Trump, there's just zero. Under Trump, it's zero right now. No
You think
one's getting
zero
through and then
people
getting
are
turned around.
trying to get here? That's insane. And
I'm
Customs
just
and Border
speaking
Protection
I'm
doesn't.
just speaking in common parlance. Obviously, it's not literally zero. Is this how this is going to go? Do I have to? Can we?
Sir,
just
if
be
you
normal,
say
or do we have to be
zero, I
weird
am
like
going to
this?
take it as zero.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry,
Well,
sir. If you say zero, I am going to take it as zero. If you don't mean zero, then don't say zero. Okay. If you mean that they are lower, then I have no problem
think
agreeing with you on lower. If you say
okay.
zero, I'm going to take it as zero.
Okay. I agree.
Dude, calm down, bud. Don't
Sorry,
get your pennies all in a wad. Okay,
I'm calm.
relax.
I'm just.
No,
I
you're
think
just
I
you're saying
misunderstood.
it.
Okay,
Zero
go ahead.
is not common language. Zero is a direct number. Okay, to say that zero people entered under Trump would be a fallacy. Okay, if you're saying that the numbers are lower, then we have to talk about what the numbers are lower. Okay.
Have you never heard anyone correct themselves and it spoke? Have you never heard anyone correct themselves?
You haven't. You didn't correct yourself. You have not corrected yourself yet. You said you were speaking in common language as if I should understand what you were saying. You are trying to correct me. You are trying to correct me on my understanding of your language. You're not trying to correct yourself.
I apologize. I think I misunderstood.
I don't need your apology. Don't be sorry. Be better.
Okay, I'll be better. I thought that I didn't realize it was a debate thing. I thought we could just speak in common.
We are talking in common parlance, if that's what you want to call it. Okay, we are talking in that, sir. I was just asking you a question of what you were saying. You said zero. I disagreed with you. That was all it was.
Hey, how was your day? It was the worst day of my life. You're like, oh my God, it really was the worst day of his life. You don't think people speak in hyperbole?
Okay. Well, again, if I say that it was the worst day of my life, it means it was the worst day of my life. You can call that whatever.
That's insane.
Neurodivergence.
You don't ever speak hyperbolically about things?
I speak hyperbolically about things all the time, but not when it comes to actual border crossing numbers.
You do about your day. You've never said it's the worst. The only time you've ever said it's the worst day of your life is when it's actually been the worst day of your life. You're serious. You
never
genuinely
said
think that.
Yeah.
You said when you say it's the worst day of my life, I actually mean it, right?
Yeah, when that worst day of my life actually shows up, I'll let someone know.
If you got into the Pacific in January, the Pacific Ocean, you said, oh my gosh, this is the coldest water in the world. Are you going, this is literally the coldest water on planet Earth right now. This is beating out Antarctica. Is that how you talk? Like
no, I would just say, I just would never say that this water is the coldest water in the world because that would be inaccurate. Okay, so I would just say this water is really cold.
That's what common parlance is. Obviously it's an inaccuracy, so you have to pick up on the social cue, dude.
Yeah, I think my social cues are just fine by saying the water is really cold. Would everybody understand my common parlance by saying that?
I don't. I think if you said a comment like that, I think if you were to do like oh my gosh, this is the coldest water in the world. You don't think you'd be like, people would be like, oh my, it really is the coldest water on planet Earth.
I would just never say that, sir.
Standing in cold water.
Sir, maybe you just spend most of your time talking in hyperbole, and that's fine. I don't.
No, I don't talk in hyperbole. I just talk like a normal person.
All right. Well, what you consider normal and what I consider normal are two different things, sir. So let's, for the sake of this conversation, okay, not speak as if we're jumping into the Pacific Ocean and talking about water, and talk with the data that we have present. And the data that we have present says that there has been a lot more than zero people that have crossed the border, and there have been a lot more than zero apprehensions. There have been a whole bunch more. And even if that was the case, sir, even if we could say at a certain point that, there was less people being apprehended in between border, in in between ports of entry at the southern border, okay, that would not in any way signify that there are somehow less people that are entering the country, or that there are less border crossings, or that there are less people entering the country, you know, on an undocumented status. Those things don't even correlate to each other.
Okay, fine. Then I agree with you. So you think Biden is better on deportations than Trump is? You think he did more?
No, I think they're both horrible, to be completely honest with you.
Okay. So are you in agreement with me that we should have mass deportation in the country?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Okay. Well, I think that. I'm going to vote that way. You're going to vote the opposite way, I take it?
Well, first of all, I'm not a single issue voter, so I don't vote just continually based off one thing and one thing only. But no, I would never vote for a mass removal of any type of person based off of their race or ethnicity in this country.
Obviously. Do you think that, can you name me any Democrat that's strong on deportation like conservatives are?
Can you name me one conservative that's strong on deportation? And I'll compare
Rand
it.
Paul.
Rand Paul. And what policy has Rand Paul passed towards deportation?
He's literally putting law forth right now as we speak to
Rand Paul wants to do a whole bunch of shit. Rand Paul wants to do a whole bunch of shit. Rand Paul's been trying. Like I said, I don't like Rand Paul's policies, but I will give Rand Paul
citizenship.
I will give Rand Paul one like positive. Dude stands on what he believes for the most part. Dude votes along with the way that he feels, and I will give him that credit, even though I wish he had not voted Mark Wayne Mullen in. I think that was kind of a capitulation on his point to begin with. Okay, but Rand Paul, if you want to consider him part of the the current Republican Party, I guess that's fine. I would consider him more of an outlier at this point, but I mean,
I
sure,
think he
that's
votes
fine.
along party lines for the most part.
Yeah, but he still votes enough outside of party lines to consider him to make himself an outlier.
I guess. I think he voted against hemp or something in Kentucky, but like putting forth a bill in the Senate to end birthright citizenship doesn't get more hardcore than that.
Well, first of all, you can't put in a bill in the Senate that overturns the Constitution, so that's really
You're fine. Putting forth whatever a resolution, a motion, a thing in order to end birthright citizenship formally. You agree that he did that,
none
right?
of those things. I don't know whether he did it or not. I know that he can't do that, so it doesn't matter.
Do you agree with me, Rand Paul wants
Sir,
to
how do you change a constitutional amendment?
He has to go through Congress and the president and the states.
You would have to do a constitutional Congress, right? That's how you would have to do it. So like that would be the same as me submitting a bill that's saying that, yeah, so that would be like the same as me like submitting a bill to the Constitution that says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is over. All right. You can push a bill. It doesn't mean anything because it's not the way that we change the Constitution. And the 14th Amendment is what guides whether we have birthright citizenship or not. So but I have no idea whether Rand Paul did that or not. If you tell me he did, I'm not going to argue with you.
That's not the same. He's not trying to repeal the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment he's trying to put forth an act in order to end a conceptual idea of birthright citizenship. You can absolutely in Congress put forth something that deviates away from the interpretation of SCOTUS. Especially
yes, and that is what you call it.
All the time.
That's what you call something being illegal. Yeah.
It's not illegal. It happens all the time.
Like, name an instance.
What? Where? Okay, the instance would be appellate jurisdiction. Anything that goes up to SCOTUS via appellate jurisdiction, Congress absolutely prevents SCOTUS from hearing it constantly.
That's not against the Constitution.
Historically, it's happened enough.
But that's not against the Constitution. How is that against the Constitution?
No, it's not against the Constitution. And
yeah, exactly. So
isn't against. Doing an act that would do away with birthright citizenship wouldn't be against the Constitution either.
How would it not be against the Constitution?
Because there's nothing in the Constitution that enables birthright citizenship.
All persons born within the jurisdiction thereof are U.S. citizens. I'm pretty sure that's pretty obvious language.
I completely agree.
Or common parlance, like you would say, right?
Congress could just as easily pass an act or a bill that reinterprets subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
Whose job is it to interpret the Constitution?
Okay, the textbook answer would be SCOTUS.
Correct. That's not the textbook answer. That's the constitutional answer, right? The interpretation of the Constitution does not. Can I finish my sentence if you don't mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The job of the legislative branch is to create laws. The job of the executive branch is to execute those laws. And the job of the Supreme Court is to interpret those laws. Nowhere in there does it say the legislative branch has the ability to interpret the Constitution.
What? Okay, where in the Constitution does it say it's the Supreme Court's job to interpret the Constitution?
Sure, I can bring that up. Not a problem.
It wasn't that case law.
How is it case law? How could it be case law?
Wasn't that interpretation under John Marshall, Marbury versus Madison?
Sir, if you know the answer, then why are you already answering it?
Because you said it was in the Constitution, and I'm saying that's clearly not the case. It's clearly case law.
Okay, well, if it's case law or
That's
not, that's
judicial
fine, sir.
review.
All right, sir, if you say
Okay,
so,
so the point
that's
I'm trying to
fine.
make is that if Congress
I'll
were to
pull it up
make
in the
an act or law
Constitution,
that were
but
to
either
say,
way, it doesn't really change anything.
where in Article 3, the only thing in Article 3 that deals with what the
Sir,
Supreme
it's
Court
fine.
can and can't hear is
Sir,
Section 2,
sir,
Clause
I
2.
said I would bring it up, but what's your point here? Are you saying that the Supreme Court doesn't have the ability to interpret? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
Well, I
Congress
mean,
has the
so you're making
ability
the argument
to
that
limit what the Supreme Court can
no,
hear.
you're making the argument that is not the Supreme Court's job in order to interpret that it's that it's the legislative branches. That's what you're. That's the argument that you're making.
Fugazi. It's Fugazi. You're making it up. Fugazi. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is that this Congress can limit what the Supreme Court can hear. Your idea that the Supreme Court, just its sole duty and purpose is to interpret the Constitution.
I didn't say it was its
It's
full
to
duty
interpret
and
the
purpose. I
laws
didn't say
too,
that.
right?
The
also
judicial
interprets
power
the
shall
laws of
extend to
Congress,
all
right?
cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution and the laws of the United States and treaties made, or shall be made under their authority to all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers and councils, and to all cases of admiralty. Nope, I'm not pausing. You be quiet. To cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction.
Daddy.
Yeah, that's right. You can call me daddy because I am your daddy. That's why
Yes,
I'm reading it right now.
Daddy.
Yeah, I understand,
That's
sir,
right,
that you
Daddy.
need to drop to these types of things when you're losing an argument so badly, okay? But I would
I'm
appreciate
not.
if you'd
You're
be
just-
quiet.
It literally says
Sir, I'm
original
not interested in
jurisdiction,
hearing your
right?
voice.
You're
I'm
reading-
interested in speaking, so be quiet. Two controversies between two or more states, between a state and the citizens of another state, between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state claiming lands under grants of different states, and between a state or the citizens thereof and foreign states, citizens or subjects. In all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consulates, and those in which a state party shall be, the Supreme Court shall have original jurisdiction. In all other cases before they mentioned, the Supreme Court should have appellate jurisdiction both as law and fact, in such exceptions and under such regulations as the Congress shall make. The trials of all crimes except in cases of impeachment shall be by jury, and such trials shall be held within the state. Treason against the United States shall consist in levying war against them or adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless the testimony of two witnesses in the same law court. The Congress shall have the power to declare punishment of the treason or to be attainted of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture amongst them. Still there, sir?
Okay, now you agree with me. You agree with me that you just read Article 3, Section 2. What is that? Clause 2.
Technically, I wrote Section 2 and Section 3.
Okay, so Section 2, the first part is original jurisdiction. That's ambassadors, issues between two states, consuls, right?
Mhm.
Then underneath it, the second sentence would be appellate jurisdiction, which is that Congress has the ability to limit what the Supreme Court can hear. There's a lot of case law on that. So the point that I'm trying to make to you is that, yeah, that's true. The Supreme Court can interpret the Constitution. And all I was saying is that Congress can limit what the Supreme Court can interpret.
Through how?
In this specific, but you can pass a bill or an act. So in
No,
this
through a
specific
constitutional
instance, Rand Paul could
convention,
say,
sir. That's how you do that.
that would be how you would amend the 14th Amendment.
That's how you would
goodness
amend it, and
gracious.
that is how you would limit what the Supreme Court can interpret. If a constitutional convention came about and changed the Constitution, then that limits what the Supreme Court can then interpret. They can't just make a random act that limits the authority of the Supreme Court, and there is no case law showing that.
Could I give you an example of a case law where that happened? Or
Sure.
no? Is it just
Go for it.
years? Okay. So you agree with me that habeas corpus is found in the Constitution, right?
You mean written out in plain language? No. I mean, I agree with you.
The word habeas corpus isn't in the Constitution?
Correct.
It's in the Constitution.
Sorry. You're right. My bad.
It's okay, man. So after the Civil War,
Wait, hold
I
on.
think
Where's
it
it
was
at in the
in 68.
Constitution?
Suspension clause or habeas corpus. Article 1, Section 9.
Article 1, Section 9. Maybe you're right.
I am.
That's fine.
Anyways, I know it's fine. Why do you do that thing? every time I say something,
Sir,
when you're
please stop
wrong, you,
whining
like,
and get on with
follow
your
up with
fucking
a
point.
thing.
Really, I'm not in the mood.
Okay, man. Okay. Sorry, I'm not trying to fight. I'm
Sir,
saying,
you were in the
okay, so
middle of
habeas
your
corpus
point, and
is
instead of going on with your point, you're just like, why are you doing that thing like a fucking petulant child, dude?
okay. That's fine. Okay. So the point I was trying to make is that habeas corpus, even though it's in the Constitution,
Uh-huh.
you would agree with me that because it's in the Constitution, the Supreme Court should be able to interpret habeas corpus, right?
Interpret it? Sure, why not?
Okay. So after the Civil War, in Ex parte McCardle, EXPARTE McCardle, Congress limited the Supreme Court's ability to hear someone on a writ of habeas corpus.
Mm-hmm.
And the Supreme Court said, yeah, that falls in line with Article 3, Section 2. That's appellate jurisdiction. They can limit what we can hear.
Okay.
And they have, and they did. That was the holding in Ex parte McCardle.
Okay.
So that's my point. Yeah,
That is a complete false.
That's a complete
false equivalency.
convention in order to.
That's a
to have
complete
Congress
false
have the ability
equivalency.
to limit
Hold
what
on,
the
that is a
Supreme Court
complete
can
false
hear.
equivalency. You're making a comparison between
God.
the Supreme Court not saying that someone can hear an argument on habeas corpus and the legislative branch making a law that is directly against the Constitution and against precedent and against case law from the Supreme Court, and then saying that they cannot hear what their exact job is. That is a complete false equivalency.
No, I'm not. It's not a false equivalency.
That is a
All I was
complete false
saying-
equivalency. Are you kidding me? Is that a joke?
Okay, man. All right. Dude. I'm not trying to be dick. Calm down,
Dude,
bro.
I am
Why are we
calm,
at each
sir.
other's throats?
Sir, how old are you?
29.
This is literally as calm as I get. Okay, I literally talk to my child.
That's concerning.
I literally talk to my child in a very loving manner, in a more aggressive way than I am talking to you. I literally have my kid gloves on as much as I possibly fucking can with you, and you are still whining. Okay, so
You talk to me like a sassy gay San Franciscan, dude.
Oh, okay, and now you
Yes,
go with the
Daddy.
ad homs.
Yes, Daddy. You liked when I called you Daddy.
No, I just think it's funny, sir.
I thought you liked. You said you liked. You said keep doing
Sir,
that.
please stop. Okay, this is a joke. I came on and I had to talk to somebody, and you're acting like a little petulant child. Okay,
I'm not.
Are you done?
I think
No,
I'm
be
giving
quiet.
you a one.
No, you're not giving me anything. You're just whining. Can you please be quiet? Okay.
What do you want to talk about, man?
I was in the middle of explaining how it's a false equivalency, but it doesn't sound like you really care, do you?
No, I care and I listen to you. And all I was saying is that it's within the purview of Congress utilizing appellate jurisdiction to prevent the Supreme Court.
That's not what the argument
went
was.
down this rabbit hole.
That wasn't what the argument was.
Okay, the point that I was trying to make is, do you?
But that wasn't what the argument
whatever
was.
it is,
the argument was whether or not Rand Paul can create a piece of legislation that Congress can pass that goes past what the Constitution says. The Constitution specifically gives the right to birthright citizenship. You are making the claim, okay?
It's a constitutional amendment.
You are making the claim.
He's proposing a constitutional amendment.
You are making the claim. All right, that the Republicans in Congress, including Rand Paul, can make something that is directly against the Constitution, that is directly against the Supreme Court's interpretation of the Constitution, without doing a constitutional convention. And you're using a claim saying that at one point in time that Congress stopped a case from being heard by the Supreme Court that was in violation of habeas corpus. And you're making that claim to say that for some reason the Republicans can do that. You have gone completely off the rails of this conversation. Okay, because you have nothing to actually show that what you're saying is actually accurate. Okay, and instead of actually, having this conversation with me, because you know that you can't have it, because it's literally the dumbest conversation I've ever had. Okay, about saying that Rand Paul can just say that the 14th Amendment is invalid. Right? Instead of doing that, you're over here whining about the tone of my voice and calling me daddy. Right? Like, which I'm told, like, honestly, like, really, I am truly honored, all right, that you see me that way, all right? But really, it really takes away from the entire argument when this is actually something that's actually important for everybody to be able to hear around here, right? It's important to know that somebody like Rand Paul or Republicans in Congress can't just change the Constitution just because they're racist xenophobes, Okay. And I think that that's an important part of the American system that we live in to be able to do that. Right. And if people believe that they can just do that, then they believe a whole bunch of things, that they're going to lose their rights. Like we see a lot of rights being violated within the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the 24th Amendment. Right. We're seeing all of these amendments being violated right now. And you trying to make this argument off of false equivalency is actually important for people to be able to understand. And I just think it's sad that instead of sticking on the conversation that we're talking about when we're actually talking about something important, you would rather completely just digress to ad homs, right? Or try to, play a semantical argument about me freaking, having a mind blank about habeas corpus in the Constitution. It's kind of a joke.
Are you done? Okay. Is this literally the dumbest conversation you've ever had?
Is that really the part that you're hung up on, sir?
This is literally it. This is literally the dumbest one. You haven't had a dumber one. I heard the previous caller. I've heard you in the past. This is literally the dumbest. You didn't know if habeas corpus was in the Constitution.
Yes, I did, sir. I had a mind blank, and I apologize for making a mistake.
Why are you apologizing to the dumbest conversation?
Sir, I have no problem. Sir, unfortunately, I understand that I understand that you're a fan, and if you are a big enough fan, you'll understand that I make mistakes all the time.
Never had a dumber
Sir, I'm shutting you up. Shush. You'll understand that I make mistakes all the time. The difference is that I have no problem admitting them. Okay, I've really had a really long day, and I'm actually really tired. And I'm sorry when you said habeas corpus, my brain went into a entire blanking point. Okay, so I apologize for making a mistake when I said that. Okay, if that really hurts your feelings that bad, then you can excuse yourself from my life. All right. I made a mistake. That's okay. I don't mind making mistakes. Okay. Maybe if a bunch of MAGA Republicans like you would admit that you make mistakes every once in a while, then you guys would be a lot better off, Oh, he ran. He ran. Yeah, I don't know what that guy's problem was besides that he's a big fan. I really don't know what that guy's problem is. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Just let you know, random Republicans cannot pass bills that go against the 14th Amendment. I don't know why he ran. I honestly, and for y'all who have been watching me for like a really long time, I thought I was actually being quite calm for me. I thought I was actually being quite calm for me. I thought I was being pretty good. Just being honest. Anyways, y'all make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I don't know where he ran up to. I didn't kick him, dude. Trust me. I don't ever kick anyone without letting them know that I'm kicking them first. Okay. I don't ever kick anyone without letting them know that I'm kicking them first. I'm very, very adamant about that. All right. So I'm really, really adamant about that. All right. If I'm going to kick someone, I'm gonna let them know. All right. I knew he wasn't serious when he started calling me daddy anyway, right? Anyways, we're going to move on to the next caller, keeping this thing going. Y'all, if you guys would like to support, I really, really appreciate you guys. I do have super chats and gifts and all that sort of stuff. I am trying to work on this gift gallery, which we've already made like super huge headway with. I have the hearts up there. I think I need 5 of those from one person to clear that. But also, I think I need like 1 swan, like 1 galaxy, 1 fireworks. So if you guys like to support over there, I really appreciate that too. Also, I'm on every single night at 7. Also, make sure you guys are following my podcast, which hasn't released an episode yet. Oh, goodness. All right. We're going to move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. Oh, shoot. Karamos, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. All super chats are put up on the screen and talked about too. Why the fuck do these people come on here acting like they read the Constitution when they know Polly will pull it up? I think that's the worst part about that guy is you could actually tell he has read the Constitution and purposely is ignoring it. Priscilla, this week. Sorry. Priscilla, this week. Sorry. I've been meaning to hit you up this week. I'll text me later, okay? And Lindale, thank you so much for the swan too. I really, really appreciate that. W's in the chat for Lindale and for Karamos. Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello? All right.
Dumb
Well,
bitch.
dude, don't go get your mother. Okay? Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
18.
Awesome. What year were you born?
2008.
Oh, you decided to do your math, huh? That was almost hard for you to come out and say. What month?
I'm sorry.
What month?
March 2008.
Okay. Anyways, do you still support Trump?
Yeah, I would say I would support Trump.
Awesome. Why is that?
I mean, there's a few reasons. I mean, one of my strongest one, I like what he did with the southern border.
And what did he do with the southern border?
There's a lot less illegal immigrants coming across it.
Okay. Well, first of all, what stats are you showing to say that?
Sorry, what did you say?
Well, I mean, record. You know, the number of border encounters and border apprehensions had significantly reduced before Donald Trump took office, right? So, and we don't really have. I mean, we have numbers of border encounters and border apprehensions that are down, but that doesn't really show that there's less people coming across the southern border. So I was just wondering which stats you were showing. Stats you had to prove that, and also even more important than that.
Yeah, I mean, I can show it right here. So in 2024, U.S. Border Patrol made approximately 1.55 million apprehensions of migrants crossing the southern border illegally between ports of entry. 2025, there was only 238,000, so that went down significantly.
Yeah, and what does that have to do with what your point is? You just said that that's less people that Border Patrol stopped.
Well, I just think illegal immigrants aren't good for our country.
Well, first of all, we can get into that, sir, but you're just saying the amount of people that Border Patrol stopped and arrested is lower. I don't know how that makes you think that for some reason that equates to less people sneaking around Border Patrol.
Well, if there's less people that Border Control literally cites that are crossing the border, then there's less people crossing the border.
That's less people that they caught and arrested. That's the number that you said. What you're saying is less people were caught and arrested.
Okay, then I'm saying that, sure.
Okay, cool. So if if Highway Patrol just takes a day off, that's less people that are apprehended for speeding, right? Or ticketed for speeding, right? Does that mean less people are speeding?
I mean, there's less people coming across the border illegally.
How do you know that?
This is literally Border Control statistics.
You're saying that there is less people caught. Less people caught doesn't mean less people committing the crime.
I mean, I don't really see where you're going with this.
It's not a matter. Sorry,
when you
it's
see
not a matter of
any immigration number. I mean, it tells you the number. It's like, okay, from this point there was this many people that crossed illegally, and then after this point there's this many people. When it goes from a lot to a little bit, then you realize, oh crap, he reduced the number a lot. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Perfect. Can you please show me the number of people that crossed on an undocumented status on the southern border under the Trump administration in 2025?
Yeah, I just said it.
No, that was the number of apprehensions. That's not the number of undocumented crossings. That is the point I am trying to tell you, sir, is the number that you gave me is the number of people that were apprehended, not the number of people that crossed on an undocumented status. And the reason why you don't have that number is because that number doesn't exist. You are making up a number and you're using other numbers to make that. But regardless of that, sir, I really don't even think that I need that for the point, okay? Why are you saying that people that are immigrants to the United States are bad for the country?
Well, I've seen a lot of illegal immigrants that have killed people that literally had no justification for it. They just literally killed them. Many different reasons. I mean, there's many people that have come across the border that were terrorists, that were violent gang members. They depress wages. There's so many reasons why I don't think they're good for this country.
U.S. citizens commit violent crime at a rate that is 30 times more than undocumented immigrants.
Yeah, but when they enter the country, that's a crime. So that number is just invalid, or like off the bat.
Is entering the country on an undocumented status a violent crime?
Entering the country illegally is a crime.
I didn't ask you if it was a crime. I asked you if it was a violent crime.
No, it's not considered a violent crime.
Perfect. So the what I said, sir, was undocumented immigrants commit violent crime at a rate that is 30 times less than American citizens. So when you are talking about people committing things like murder, things that committing, violent crimes like that, all right, you're saying that undocumented immigrants are doing that. I am saying that you, as an American, I'm assuming you're a U.S. citizen, correct?
Yeah.
All right. You as a U.S. citizen are 30 times more likely to commit that violent crime than somebody that's an undocumented immigrant. So why should I be afraid of them and not afraid of you?
Well, I mean, there's a difference because there's way more, obviously, Americans in this factor, and over time, like, it's different time. Like, there's so many more factors.
Sir, that's per
capita. If you're illegal or if you're born in the United States.
Sir, that's per capita. Okay, so it accounts for the number difference.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then: how many deaths occurred so illegal immigrants? Let's say there were violent crimes they committed. Those people could have been alive if we just never let them in the country.
We could also get rid of almost all cases of child sex crimes if we just got rid of white people in the country. Should we do that?
I mean, you can make jokes all you want, but
that's not a joke, sir. I believe that white straight males are like 95% of the child sex crimes. So do we just get rid of white? So do we get rid of white straight males in order to stop that crime from happening?
Yeah, I'm not going to debate. I'm not going to argue about things that are completely irrelevant. What I'm saying is that
is incredibly relevant, sir. That is incredibly relevant. That is incredibly relevant, sir. That is incredibly relevant, and I will be more than happy to explain why.
That has nothing to do with immigration.
It is incredibly relevant, and I will be more than happy to explain why.
Okay, but what does that have to do with immigration?
That's what the word relevant means, sir. What you are saying is, okay, if we outlaw an entire group of people or treat an entire group of people in a horrible manner, okay, that could stop all crime. Well, of course, sir. There's tons of ways that we could stop all
sorts of... I
never said that. Sir, do you mind if I explain?
No, I know. I'm just...
Okay, sir. If we shot all petty thefts on site, do you think that would reduce petty theft?
Yeah, but
okay, cool. That's perfect for me, sir. Sir, if we shot all people that speed above that go above the speed limit, do you think that would reduce speeding tickets?
I mean, obviously not.
You don't think it would?
Wait, can you repeat the question?
I said, do you think if we shot and unalived every single person that went above the speed limit, do you think that would reduce speeding tickets?
Yes, it would.
Obviously, right? Because if we have a punishment that is so severe, then obviously, okay, it is going to reduce that crime, right? You're making a statement saying that if no undocumented immigrant or no immigrant ever came into the country, then they would have never committed a crime. Of course, that's true, sir. Like 100%. I agree with that. But we cannot make these over exaggerations of laws or over exaggerations of statements in order to fix a small point. Okay. Yes, there are some undocumented immigrants that commit crimes. I 100% agree with you. There are some documented immigrants that commit crimes. I 100% agree with you. But that doesn't mean that the overwhelming majority of them don't commit those crimes. And punishing the overwhelming majority for the little tiny minority is completely excessive. We don't do that with any other thing. Again, we don't do that with white cis males that commit 95% of the child sex trafficking or child sex crimes in this country. We don't outlaw white men. We punish the people that commit those crimes. And if you're talking to me about just punishing the people that commit those crimes, I have no problem with you on that. I agree that we should.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. But what I'm saying is, you just said crimes. But when they come into this country illegally, that's a crime. Therefore, they should be deported.
I mean, that's a misdemeanor, sir. It's a class C misdemeanor at that, right? And I'm not even
And what
saying,
should the
sir, I'm not even saying they shouldn't be deported, but Donald Trump's not doing a good job of doing that either, sir. That's the problem. Is Donald Trump is doing a very inadequate job of removing undocumented immigrants from the country. What he is doing a
well,
very
he's
good
doing a
job.
very good job at stopping more from coming.
Well, sir, again, the numbers were already significantly low before he even came in. And if the reason why less people are coming in is by treating people horribly or putting people in, concentration camps or sending people to torture prisons or sending people to war-torn countries in order to stop people from coming over here, then I don't want them to stop people from coming over here. If the reasoning for people not coming is because we treated other people inhumanely, then I don't care. I don't think that that's a valid, a valid counter to that,
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard any. I didn't realize we had concentration camps around the country. That's a little absurd. But if someone gets deported and they go back to their country and their country's in a bad state, that's their problem. They have to fix their own country. They shouldn't have to come here to fix or try to live in ours. Like, that's their country, so they have to fix it.
Donald Trump is deporting people to countries they're not from.
Like who?
Like who? Like 200 almost people that got sent to CCOT in El Salvador, many of them from places like Honduras, right? The fact that he literally started making deals with countries like Sudan to send people from Latin America to Sudan, right? We have literally, they're sitting in detention centers for 3, 6, 9, 10, 12 months, right? Like literally, even just currently, what is it? Delaney Detention Center, or I believe it's Delaney, something like that, where they're literally doing hunger strikes right now, right? Like that literally people are having to blockade the entire spot to stop them from moving people. Friggin', we had Alligator Alcatraz, which is now getting ready to get shut down here in my state of Florida. That literally, that literally, like, I think it was like 12 to 1500 people just disappeared from. We don't even know what they would, where they went. All of that for a class C misdemeanor, sir. Sir, if there's just people being deported, while I have a very, very huge problem with Donald Trump doing things like sending people onto buses and having children being followed home from schools and being used as bait in their families' homes, that's when I have a problem with. Sir, just deporting people that are trying to come in on undocumented status, like, okay, that's fine, sir. Every president has done that, right? The cruelty is the point with the Trump administration, and that's the issue. And as a humanist, I have a problem anytime when cruelty is the point.
Yeah, hold up 1 second, just looking up statistic. Well, I was looking up how many people are actually deported, and it shows that in 2024 there were 271,000, and in 2025, oh wait, no, it's not that. In 2025, where did it go? 605,000 deportations. So I don't really see what statistic you got that there's not as many people being deported.
You just said it, sir. You just said in 2024 there was 271,000 or 600. Did you say 271,000 or 671,000?
No, I was saying that in 2024 there was a lot less deportations. There was 271,000.
What was the number? What was the number that you said? 271,000? Is that what you're saying?
271,000.
Yeah, that's completely inaccurate. I can pull up numbers that show it's 685,000.
All right. I mean, I just Googled it. I don't have I literally just Googled it. It says,
that's fine, sir. If I need to pull it up, that's not an issue.
Recorded 271,484 removals in 2024.
I can. That's fine. I can pull it up, sir, if you need that. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But regardless, sir, problem, sir, even if your numbers were correct, all right, which they're not, and again, I'll pull them up. It's just gonna take me a quick second because I don't think I have it bookmarked, right? But even if that was true, sir, again, why are you ignoring the fact that we're literally building concentration camps, that we're literally having, children on buses followed home or being sent to detention centers instead of going to school? Why do you think that is a valid response to a misdemeanor?
I mean, I've never heard of any concentration camps or any of that, so I don't really know where that came from. You're probably the only person I've ever met who even brought that point up.
Okay, sir. Well, if it makes you feel better, we can call them long-term detention centers, with inadequate
Yeah, I mean, are you talking
conditions
about like
for.
ICE holding facilities? Like, what are you like? Where are these concentration camps just
Well, I mean
magically
that
coming
those
from?
ICE detention centers are concentration camps, but that's against the point, sir. I mean, I can prove that too if you need me to.
I mean, regardless of all of the things you're bringing up right now, they shouldn't be in the country at all. That it's illegally crossing. It's a crime. They should be deported. Like,
Sir,
no matter
you're
the
supporting Donald
procedures of
Trump,
them
who is
being
a
deported, they shouldn't have been
34.
here in the first place, though.
Sir, you're supporting Donald Trump, who is a 34 times felon, and you're complaining about people with misdemeanors. I don't see how that's even close to accurate.
I mean, I support Trump not necessarily for his own, persona, but I really do think
This is a
that
persona.
illegal
He's a
immigrants should
felon.
be. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm talking about what he's done for the border. That's all I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about what he's done or anything. But what I'm saying is, if someone comes here illegally, they should be deported. I don't see what the big problem is for that.
Sir, you don't get to talk about how you are this adamantly against crime and then ignore the crime of the person that you're saying you support. Okay, you don't get to do both those things. You don't get to isolate it. You don't get to say the crime of migrants bad, the crime of the person I support, I don't want to talk about that. Okay, that's not the way we're going to do this, sir. What I'm saying is, sir, it is a misdemeanor to cross the border on an undocumented status. Not to mention the fact that most of Donald Trump's arrests and apprehensions, they're not coming at the southern border, right? They're coming in cities, right? And they're coming throughout cities, which means that those people were here, like maybe without the correct documentation, which isn't even a misdemeanor, it's a civil infraction, right? So not even a misdemeanor at all. And you think that the punishment for that civil infraction or that misdemeanor should be to be disappeared from your family and sent to a country that you're not from under unlivable conditions?
Sorry, I was doing something. Well, with the whole Trump thing and his crimes, because you want to address that so much. I mean, he hasn't killed anyone, and many people have died to illegal immigrants.
Many people have died to Donald Trump too. So what point are you making, sir?
So how many people has Donald Trump killed then?
You want to talk about the 160 something children that got hit by the Tomahawk missile, or
I'm talking about
literally like
millions
of Palestinians
that how many people have he killed?
The Palestinians that he's literally armed, or the Ukrainians that died because he refused to arm Russia, or the Iranians that have died because he's attacked their buildings, or the American troops that have died, or the people in all of the country around. How about the millions of people that died under under COVID-19 due to Donald Trump's mishandling of it? The 500,000 plus people that have died from lack of healthcare due to USAID cuts.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep dodging around the question, but
you asked me how many people he killed, and I just gave you a list of. I don't know. I think on the conservative end, my list is around 30 million.
All the way to health problems. Like, you're not giving. You're playing around with the question. The answer is zero, and hundreds of people have gotten.
The answer is zero. The answer is zero.
Yeah,
the answer is zero. The answer is zero.
Name one murder charge in this case. Name one murder charge in his.
Name me one murder charge of an undocumented immigrant.
Oh, there is none. Right, exactly. So
name me one.
Many people have died to illegal immigrants.
Name me one.
I don't know their names off the top of my head.
Oh, gotcha. So we're totally okay with using freaking death when there is no murder charge. Perfect. I agree with you. We should be able to count deaths even if there's not a murder charge.
There is a murder charge.
Oh, gotcha. My bad.
So do you think that illegal immigrants should be deported, or do you think they should be able to stay there?
I think that depends on the undocumented immigrant.
And can you explain that further?
Yeah, sure. I believe if people are chronic, I believe that we should have a secure border. I believe that we should have border patrol, that we should have, all the things to stop people from coming in here. And I believe that we should be able to turn people away and we got to stop them from doing that. I also believe that if anybody is here and they commit a crime or anything like that, I believe that they should serve their sentence, and I believe that they should be deported after that. I don't believe that people that have been here for 10, 15, 20 years, that live their entire lives here, that contribute to our taxes, that contribute to our economy, should then just be ripped out of their homes, out of their communities, out of the people, away from the people that love them, and sent to other countries. I don't believe that. I don't think it helps the immigrant. I don't think it helps the community. I don't think it helps the United States. Right? We are currently have a very high rising unemployment rate where people are not being able to work. Not to mention the fact that undocumented immigrants create jobs in almost immigrants as a whole create jobs in almost a 1-to-1 rate for U.S. citizens. I think we're seeing that extrapolated right now as the unemployment rate goes up. Right? I think that undocumented immigrants do a lot of jobs that Americans don't want to do, including things like agriculture or the construction industry, where we are currently at a $500,000 person deficit when it comes to jobs. And I think getting rid of those people is a detriment to our GDP. It's a detriment to our economy, and it's a detriment to things like Social Security, right? Where they pay a whole bunch into, not to mention that they're a $14+ trillion, surplus to our economy since 1980. And I think the last trackable year, they paid something like $98 billion in federal, local, and state taxes. I don't think that we should be trying to get rid of those people that are being a help to us, to our economy, to all these things. And really, at the end of the day, just trying to build better lives on a country that was completely built on immigrants just because of fear that some may commit crimes, sir. Because if in the grand scheme of things, the crimes are being way higher committed by American citizens, by U.S. citizens, and the United States is not doing anything about that, right? Where the number one preventable, cause of death in children, right, in the United States is guns, but those same Republicans that refuse to do anything about those guns are trying to tell me that I'm supposed to start caring about the lives of American citizens due to violent crime. Right. Every time there's another mass shooting in the United States, all I get is thoughts and prayers. Right. Even though the Justice Department just released a memo, not too long ago that said that over 70% of the political violence that's coming out of the United States is coming from the right, and they had to retract it because it made the Trump administration look so bad. The people on the right are the ones that are causing this. The Republicans are the ones that are causing this violence. They're the ones who are raising the temperature and causing more political violence. They're the ones that are doing things like supporting and trying to pay off like the Proud Boys and other extremist groups like that with Donald Trump's little $1.8 billion slush fund that he's trying to give off. And you're trying to tell me that I'm supposed to be afraid of immigrants, sir? As far as I'm concerned, I am way more terrified of people on the Republican side and straight white men, being around my daughter than I am of undocumented immigrants.
All right, well, you just went down a whole rabbit hole. So I don't even know what part to start with. But first of all, this country is not built off immigrants. It's built off settlers.
And what's a settler, sir?
What's a settler? Someone who comes to a barren land and churns it and starts a foundation for something that's going to be built upon to a civilization.
Yeah, that's an immigrant.
That's a settler.
The definition of an immigrant is somebody that moves from one country to another land with the intent of settling there, of staying there. A settler is a type of immigrant.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
Correct. Not all immigrants are settlers, but all settlers are immigrants. So if you're saying it was built on settlers, you're literally saying it was built on immigrants.
Yeah, I mean, you can play around with the words. You know the clear difference.
I'm not playing around with the words, sir. It's having an understanding of the English language. Okay, that's all I'm having. Yeah. All I have is an understanding of the English language, sir, and it's not playing around with the words to be able to speak it correctly.
No, I said you're playing around with the definitions and you're just mixing them all up and you're combining. I mean,
no, that's what you're doing, sir. The only people that are not immigrants,
I don't even know.
Like, the only people that are not immigrants to this country, the only people that are not immigrants to this country, well, I say the only two groups of people that are not immigrants to this country is one, people that are indigenous here, and two, people that were brought here against their will, i.e. in the chattel slave trade, right, of enslaved Africans. Those are the only two people that you would actually consider not immigrants, and even the chattel slave part is like kind of like a semantic argument. You're trying to take the word immigrant and then trying to say settler, all right, as if that's not a type of immigrant. You're the one that's trying to play the semantical argument right now, not me.
I mean, I don't even know what else you said. Like I said, you said like 5 minutes of ranting, so I don't know what part to address anymore.
That was barely 40 seconds, and I could go on for so much longer.
Oh no, I'm sure you could, but I was talking about immigration, and you just went off on gun violence and all this other crap. So let's see here. Hmm.
Yes, for whoever said that. Yes, that's why I said they are. Even the enslaved Africans could be considered immigrants. It was just a forced migration. So even that is a play on the words, right? The only people that actually aren't migrants here are indigenous people. So that's why I said it's that two groups in one is kind of, you know,
Well, do you agree
flexible in
with
them.
how the left likes to push this rhetoric that we stole the land and it was like originally Mexican land, or however you want to say it? Do you agree with like that whole idea?
Well, Americans into the land, a bunch of Brits stole the land.
Okay,
There
well,
was
so
no
you do or you
America
don't?
yet. A bunch of Europeans
All
stole the
right.
land and committed a genocide.
Uh, yeah, I mean, um, I just think that if someone comes here illegally and they committed the crime when they entered, which is illegal, they should be deported with no questions asked.
No questions asked. How about do you have documentation?
Yeah, I said illegally. I'm specifically
How do
pointing
you
that out.
know that they're here with an undocumented status if you didn't ask any questions?
No, I mean no question. Like once you establish that they are like illegally coming here, you get deported.
Okay, so we should probably get rid of Melania Trump, huh?
And why is that?
Because she came here illegally.
Yeah, I don't really know her situation personally, so I can't really speak on that.
Well, I mean, that would make Barron Trump technically an anchor baby, right?
Yeah, like I said, I don't really know her whole story. I'm
Oh.
not really like
What was
addicted to
Elon
Trump like how
Musk's
kind of you
status
are,
when he
but
showed up here, just out of curiosity?
what did you say?
What was Elon Musk's status when he came over here, just out of curiosity?
I have no idea.
Mm.
Like I don't know why we're talking about so much like random stuff.
Because we are talking about the party. You said that you're a Republican and that you support Donald Trump, and I am
Oh
talking
wait,
to
no, I
you.
remember what you were talking about. You were talking about how this is what I want to ask about. You're talking about how Republicans like incite violence and all this and stuff. If you go to like, let's just say, for example, you go to any Republican push media, so let's just say Fox News. That's just for example. I'm not saying anything good about it, but I'm just saying if you go to that and you watch stuff about the left or right and what they're saying, I've seen a few clips from them. I've personally never seen anything violence towards the left or anything like that. And then I've also seen clips from CNN, and it's always talking about how Trump is like Satan and he's like a Nazi and all these very dangerous rhetorics. And then you see Trump trying to get assassinated. Charlie Kirk got assassinated. You see all this, like all these people shooting up schools that are majority, not every single one, but a lot of them were Democrats. So I just don't understand how you can make that point that Republicans are inciting violence or whatever you said.
Donald Trump called for the hanging of multiple U.S. Democratic senators.
Yeah, I mean, I've never
Donald,
seen him
not
say
CNN,
that.
not Fox News. First of all, I would never call Donald Trump Satan. Okay, I like Satan way more. Okay, so that's not even close. I would never demean the name of Satan by comparing him to Donald Trump. Okay, so let's start there. Okay. Second of all, again, the Justice Department already came out with a memo showing that 70% of the political violence that's come out in the last 10 years has been from the right and only 30% from the left. Okay, so this is Donald
I think
Trump's
that's the
Justice
most bullshit
Department.
statement I've
Okay,
ever
that
heard.
is Donald Trump's Justice Department. But then we have other instances where the right was completely okay with the attack on Nancy Pelosi and her husband, where he almost died. Where Donald Trump wouldn't even put the flag at half staff or even make a phone call to Tim Walz after the murder of Melissa Hortman and her husband, a Democratic representative in the state of Minnesota. Right? We have seen time after time after time after time where not only the Trump administration has called for violence against the left, okay, but is been totally okay with not with not calling out against violence when it comes from their side, right? Remember, there's good people on both sides. When he was talking about literal neo-Nazis, that happened, right? Where the rhetoric coming from like Charlie Kirk's funeral was literally one of retribution and not one of turning the tone down. There has been a continual and incessant rhetoric from the right that only includes violence, where even after someone on the left is killed, or or there's an attempt on their life, like the burning down of Ben Shapiro's house, right? Ben Shapiro's house, Josh Shapiro's house, of Josh Shapiro's house, right? They still called for a toning down of the rhetoric, right? Toning down of the violence, not the other way around.
Well, I think you're getting a little confused, or not confused. You're just very you're just tunnel vision on Trump, like Trump, Trump, Trump. And I understand that your whole channel's built against Trump and everything, and that's your whole deal with him. But it's not all Trump. Like, there's a Republican Party, there's conservatives, there's way more than just Trump. And like I said, like, I don't think I've ever had any experiences where I've known a Republican or anything like that, or even on media, on TV, anything where I've seen like, oh yeah, we need to go kill the Democrats, they're Nazis and all this and that. And you go to the Democratic side of it and it'd be like, oh, they're Nazis, they're absolutely horrible, they're killing people, they're like raping people, all these like dark things that just aren't simply true at all. I think that's a way more dangerous.
It's really funny how you switched there. It's really hold on.
Three times, and Charlie Kirk got assassinated.
Hold on, it's really funny how you switched right there. That I thought that was like really cute how you just did that. Like, and I want to be very clear on what you just did. You said, I don't hear from the right saying that they're calling the people out to go kill people, right? And then you said, but then on the left, I hear them saying Trump is a Nazi, right? That they're out there killing people, that they're out there sexually assaulting people. But you never once in there said that the left is saying that they need to go kill people. You're just saying that the left is out there stating facts about what the right is doing. Trump is the head of the Republican Party. So you don't get to talk about the Republican Party and then not talk about the head of the Republican Party. Okay, the left isn't out there saying that violence should be committed against the right. They're out there saying that they're out there fucking raping people, because they are. All right, because Donald Trump's an adjudicated rapist. Okay, they're saying that they're out there committing crimes. Okay, where Donald Trump is embezzling money, where he's frauding the American people, literally stealing from the IRS. Okay, that he's a fascist because he meets all 14 tenets of fascism. Okay. The left is out there just saying observed facts, okay? If you feel like that is something that's going to drive people to violence, then that's on you. That's not on me, dude. Like, the left isn't calling for violence on people. The left is just looking at observed facts and speaking those observed facts. That's it. While the right, literally, like I said before, Donald Trump has called for the execution by hanging of Democrats. He has called them domestic terrorists. Okay, he pardoned people that committed violence on January 6th, including attacking Capitol Police officers, and he pardoned them. Some of those people went on to commit violent crimes, including crimes against children. And now he's trying to create a slush fund to pay those people off that committed those crimes, right? Those same people that held up a literal gallows, all right, that had Mike Pence's name and face on it. The vice president of the United States trying to commit violence against the vice president of the United States. And Donald Trump pardoned those people. All right? So please don't tell me about this whole like, oh, the violence is coming from the left or whatever. The violence is at the right. It's all in the right. All right? It's all in the right. All right? It's all there. All right? It's just the right and insane people, which I guess sometimes those kind of cross, but whatever.
All right. So how many times was Biden almost assassinated?
I believe 3.
Oh, really? Because I never heard of one.
Oh, well, I'm sorry that you weren't listening.
I mean, it's just such a distorted word.
Once was in Salt Lake, Utah, where somebody tried to come after him
out there, and then you're like, oh yeah, well, it might get some people riled up. Well, I guess that's just on them for taking it that way. When you're literally calling them.
Oh, I have no problem getting people riled up, sir.
Like, oh yeah, whoops, I guess they might be pretty mad and try to cause.
You mean like the MAGA guy wearing a MAGA shirt that literally went in and freaking literally shot up a mosque in Minnesota? You mean like that guy?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know he was wearing a MAGA shirt.
Oh yeah, his Facebook photo was full of pictures of mosques. Do you not think that Donald Trump's rhetoric talking about, how bad Muslims are or how Muslims shouldn't exist, or the entire chain on the right is literally saying that like Muslims are all horrible? You don't think that goes to affect somebody whose entire Facebook profile is filled with MAGA shirts and he goes in and shoots up a mosque?
Look, all I know is that
No. You're not avoiding what I just said. You're not backing off
I
of what I
wasn't.
just said.
I was addressing it. I was addressing it, and then you just cut me off.
All right, go ahead and address it. Then I apologize.
Okay, what I was going to say is that when I've seen rhetoric, okay, from Trump and from Democrats and from both, I've seen significantly more, and the numbers about the whole political violence on Republicans, I just don't think that's true at all. I know you sorted that one source. If you could sort some other ones that were similar, like findings, but I just do not think that's true at all.
What was my source?
So I don't really know where you got that from.
What was my source?
I don't know. I don't remember. But
It was Donald Trump's
one.
Department of Justice.
All right. Well, I'm gonna fact check you real quick.
There is no higher source, okay, than the Republican executive branch's Department of Justice releasing there is no better source, sir. I can't provide a better source to you than the Republican controlled Department of Justice saying that that's the truth. Okay, I can't. I would love to.
And what did they say again, so I can fact check you real quick?
That 70% of the political violence over the last decade, okay, came from the right, not from the left. 30% came from the left.
All right, let's see this.
I'll pull it up and put it on the screen.
Yeah, well, I can't see it because of the call.
They actually had to pull the source down because the Republicans got so mad.
Yeah, I don't see anything. Let me try a different.
Yeah, congress.gov right here. La da da da. Yep, and I'll throw it up on the screen so everybody can see it. DOJ quietly removed study showing right-wing's attacks outpace those on the left. From September 17th of 2025.
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
You're fine. Oh, I'm sorry. I do apologize. That was actually from 1990. It wasn't over the last 10 years. So I apologize for that. Like I said, I always correct myself when I'm wrong. Since 1990, far-right extremists have committed far more ideological motivated homicides than far-left radical or radical Islamic extremists, including 227 events that took more than 520 lives. In the same period, far less extremists committed 42 ideologically motivated attacks that took 78 lives. Hopefully all y'all out there can read that too. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at stuff. It doesn't. I wouldn't say it says 70 to 30. It says ranges from 50 to 80. It doesn't give me an exact percentage.
I don't know. I'm not the math person. Okay. 42 on the left, 277 on the right. Right.
And what are these numbers again?
Where are they?
No, like what number? I was looking at my own source. What are you talking about now? Like what numbers?
So since 1990, far right extremists have committed 227 events that took more than 520 lives. In the same period, far left extremists committed 42 events that took 78 lives.
Interesting.
And this is since 1990.
All right. Interesting. I'm gonna have to do some more research about that.
Please do, sir. And if you find any research that's better than the Department of Justice, please let me know.
Well, I can't do all that right now, but yeah, I mean, did you have any questions that you had that I could answer?
Sir, I think you've answered all the questions that need to be answered. And I will tell you this, sir, to be completely honest with you, okay? And this is just because I think that we've actually had a very productive conversation. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, perfect. I think we've actually had a very productive conversation, okay? I want you to go research everything that I said, okay? I don't want you to hold back. Go research, go look into things. You're still a young man, okay? I'm literally over twice your age, okay? So go research things and go learn, okay? Because I promise you that if you go research and you go learn, you will come over to me, because this isn't a left and right thing, man. This is a facts versus fiction thing. That's it. All right? So please go read, go research, and when you do that from an unbiased opinion. Go look at the things without thinking about the left or the right. Stop thinking about what you want to be the outcome. Okay? Don't give yourself confirmation bias. Just go look at the facts. And at the end of the day, the facts lead you to a different place than what they led me. That's totally fine. But at least you'll be operating from a place of facts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. There's just some things like I could never agree with the left, like abortion or I mean that's a major pillar for me.
Cool. So, sir, if you're never going to agree based off of something that is not talked about in the Bible except for against you, okay, and something that wasn't even taken up by the church until the 1970s, right? Because of like pretty much the end of Jim Crow and them needing something to talk about that was just like, not racism. All right. And if you,
Well, I mean, I
if
never
you,
said I was Christian.
well, it goes to whether you're Christian or not, sir. It doesn't really matter. You are though, right?
I know. Well, you were talking about the Bible.
But you are
so
though,
I
right?
don't know. I was just curious where you got that
But
from.
you are though, right?
I mean, yes, I am.
Exactly. Okay. So let's stop playing games, man. Okay? Stop playing
Well, I
games.
just never said that, so I was just curious where
You
got
don't
it
need
from.
to say it, sir. I do this every day. Okay? The only argument that anybody has against abortion is a false religious doctrine that was introduced to Christians in the 1970s. Okay? That's it. That's the only argument against it. Because the Bible doesn't say that. The Bible gives instructions on how to give an abortion. The Bible shows that the fetus is property, not life. Okay? It is a false religious doctrine, and everybody else, okay, with our, that thinks clearly, understands that that is women's healthcare and should be left up to women. And the only people that don't believe that are men, and it's generally men that are from some type of, Protestant or Catholic religion, and that is based in the fact that that religion is based off of control of women. Okay? And then they wonder why women are at a historic rate, okay, leaving the church. It's a literal historic rate. Women are bailing out of the church right now, running as fast as they can. Okay, because women are realizing that entire religion is based off of control of them, control of their opinions, control of their bodies, control of everything else. And you're a young man; you still have a long time to turn this around. Okay, and just as and this is just a piece of advice. I feel like I'm almost being like a father figure. I have a daughter. I'm a girl dad. I don't have any boys. You know what I'm saying? But as a girl dad, I promise you, bro, you get a lot further with women in your life by showing them respect and equality than you do with trying to control them. And you're just learning the control aspect. And I promise you, it will not do you any favors in the long run. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't bringing up any of those points. I just think it's murder.
I know you
like,
weren't.
off the bat.
I know you weren't bringing up any points, but I'm just giving you advice, okay? It might be going in one ear and out the other, then that's fine, okay? But I'm just hoping that like a few weeks down the road, you just like think about what I just said, okay? And it just like something just kind of clicks in there, okay? I like, and I'm just, and again, this has nothing to do with like what we're talking about. You didn't ask the question. I'm answering a question you didn't answer, and I totally understand. Okay, but I will tell you as a straight man, okay, as a straight man, okay, like you will get so much further with the opposite sex, okay, by just not trying to tell them what they can do with their fucking bodies and what they can do with their healthcare, and to just treat people like equals. I will tell you
But it's
that
not their
right
body,
now. Okay?
though.
Yeah, well, sir, if you're just trying to like convince me that you're lost and never going to be recovered, then that's fine.
No, I mean, I'm not trying. Like I'm just saying, you just said it's their body. It's not their body, though. What about the body of the child?
Sir, what does your Bible say about abortion, sir?
What does it say about it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wasn't even bringing up the Bible, though. I was just
I
talking
am.
about,
You
like,
said you're a Christian,
literal
right?
Sensibleness.
You said you're a Christian, right?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
What does your Bible say about abortion?
I don't really know. Like,
Okay.
what do you want me to address?
Then
about
maybe
it?
we should start there, sir. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe we should start there.
I'm not talking about the Bible.
I don't give a shit what you're talking about. If you're telling me that your religion, if you're telling, because I know you don't, sir, I know you don't know any of the science about it. What's an ectopic pregnancy?
Did you say the question again?
What is an ectopic pregnancy?
I'm assuming that's some fancy term for some really simple thing you could have just said.
Nope.
All right, then what is it?
Okay. The point of it, sir, is that you don't understand how pregnancy works. Okay. And you don't understand how a woman's body works. So you are not qualified to start making a decision on what women are doing with their bodies and how their pregnancy should work. Okay. Because ectopic pregnancies, okay, literally are severely affected by the ability to receive abortion care, and they cause death and serious harm to women every single day.
You still never said what it was, though. You never said what it was.
Because I was really just hoping you would go look it up yourself, sir, to be completely honest with you. Like, honestly, like, and this is me not trying to be rude. Okay, sir? Like, really. We've been on the phone for 45 minutes and 51 seconds at this point, right? And I have absolutely, like, no offense, just dog walked you all over this live, okay? And I would really, really, okay, really like to give you a chance to go research some shit out there, okay? And go do something, okay? And to go do something with your brain and go learn yourself. Okay, but if you're just refusing to do that,
I know a lot
about
abortion, though.
What do you know about abortion, sir?
I mean, if you want to get off the live, you can just say that. You don't have to do this like rolly around.
No, sir, I'm trying to give you a fucking chance, and you just refuse to let me. If you want me to hurt your feelings, I will, dude. You
said multiple times. No, you said multiple times. It's their body. It's literally not their body. It is a separate body. Yes, inside them, a part of them, which isn't permanent. A part definitionally does not mean permanent. It is not their body. Therefore, it's not their choice.
What's the definition of their body then?
What do you mean, their body?
You said it's not their body. What part is their body? Because if it is connected to their body and is fed by their body and is only living because of their body and literally is only sustained by their body and literally it is their cells that are creating inside of that body, then that fetus is just as much as their body as their spleen or their fucking liver or their stomach. So what makes it not their fucking body, sir? And he ran. And he ran. By the way, I saw that video with somebody saying earlier, someone was like, oh, I take the mandatory vasectomy things, which is hilarious because I've been saying that for like years. Actually, I'm pretty sure he got that off of my live years ago. Like, not even a joke. I saw that, but I couldn't believe that video had so many things. We've been talking about mandatory vasectomies for like 2.5 years. Sorry, I'm not even talking shit. I just thought it was funny. I saw a video today that was like, oh, we should do mandatory vasectomies. And I was like, man, we've been talking about that for years, bro. It's funny that it finally got some like a mainstream, algorithmic knowledge, you know? Anyways, y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate. Yeah, like I said, I've been saying that for years. I think like 3 years now, and freaking, I'm glad somebody finally it got a little bit of a traction over there. Y'all, if you guys would like to support the live, I really appreciate you guys. If you guys could really do me a favor, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you haven't already, I really, really appreciate you guys. Also, if you guys would like to support the live, I do have super chats. We're about to go through a few of those. Before we move on a little bit, if you guys still support Trump or are a Republican, you can call in on the number that's above my head or join the guest request box. I really appreciate you. Electric, thank you so much for the galaxy. I really, really appreciate that. I think we're well over halfway through this already. If you guys would like to support, I really appreciate that. W's in the chat for Electric. Let's just clear this thing the first day and just be done with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually happy he ran. Usually I'm not happy when people run, but truthfully, I was like, man, you're like I just wanted to have hope for him. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to have hope for him. I wanted him to, I don't know, for just to click, you know? Just to click a little bit, you know? It's like, bro, you're still savable. You're still we can still get through this, man. We can still get through this. We can do it. Lovely Goddess, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It said, what are they teaching them in school and how are they graduating? Well, you know, the education system has failed many Americans. I didn't ask him where he was from. I really didn't. But it's failed a lot of people. Okay. So I don't really know. Melvin, thank you so much for the $5. Said, give us your tired, poor, huddled masses yearning to be free. This idiot is ready to put up the no vacancy sign. It is crazy too. I was actually just watching some stuff earlier talking about how, Irish people weren't considered white for like most of the 1800s because they were immigrants. It's nuts. Thank you so much, Melvin. The Blues, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said activist Paul Wyrick, Richard Vigieri, I don't know how to pronounce that, and Jerry Falwell concocted the abortion issue in 1979, 6 years after Roe v. Wade, to use against Jimmy Carter. It's a completely fabricated argument. And I think that's what's the wild thing. It's a completely fabricated argument, you know? It is. It is. If you still believe it, I like it's just crazy, man. You're brainwashed. You're brainwashed if you still believe it. It's just the truth. Thank you so much, the Blues. Coffee Mom, thank you so much for the $2. Said hashtag team mandatory vasectomies. Dude, that is such an old argument, man. I think, man, I heard that argument like 2.5, 3 years ago from a very awesome feminist creator. She said it, and then I picked it up from her, and I'm sure, like, you know, I know Santana was on there and he did some stuff. He talked about it too, but I'm sure he picked it up from the same place we all did, or from one of us on that. So, yeah, I've heard the argument goes back to back decades. So, it's not a new argument, but I'm glad that it's actually getting some traction. I personally have had a vasectomy a long time ago, and I fell asleep during mine. So literally, they were like, "Sir, you have to wake up." Santana says he's the only one with that argument. Well, that's horseshit. I'll tell you who I got it from. I remember hearing it from Comrade B, and that was before Santana even had an account, because I remember when he started. So I heard it from Comrade B a long time ago. That's where I heard it from. So, and she's awesome. So that's not true, but that's an old argument. Rosa, thank you so much for the $2. Said, thank you for trying your hardest with the young man. Yeah, I did my best, Rosa. I did my best. I'm not saying it's painless. So it hurts a whole bunch afterwards. All right. It hurts a whole bunch afterwards. But during it, I literally fell asleep. I was like, and they were like, sir, you have to wake up. No Rad's probably said it from B. I'm just saying I heard it from Comrade B. That's who I heard it from. That's I'm saying that's who I heard it from, and that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. You know. Thank you guys so much for the support. Please, thank you guys so much for that. I need 2 money guns from one person to clear that off the gift gallery. If anybody has a couple coins burning a hole in their pocket, or if you'd like to send a super chat, like you guys see, I put them up on the screen. I love that. It helps me amuse myself in between callers. Put it up on the screen, and also goes to like I've been telling you, my camera fund. So I want to get a new camera, so that's always awesome too. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Fuck you, you little drowsy bitch. My mom is dead and Trump is the best. So,
So do I get your Capri Suns or what? Anyways, I'm just trying to get some Capri Suns. I don't even know why it's that serious, dude. I'm just trying to get some Capri Suns. Oya, thank you so much for the 5 hearts. I really, really appreciate that. Big deficit chat for Oya for the 5 hearts. Yeah, that was super anticlimactic. He left like immediately. All right, I think I saw someone over my TikTok guest request. I'm gonna go over there. I've been taking phone calls. Brian, I'm not talking today, so you here. I'm just gonna snooze you. There you go. Yeah, that was quite strange. That was quite strange. School is almost out. That is very true. Hello, how are you?
Hey, hi, Polly. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
Good, good, good. I just want to comment. I'm not a Trump supporter, so I just want to commend you for everything that you do. Like, thank you for the good job. A quick question: Can you look up the word MAGA in Nigerian slangs?
Oh my god, I've heard this before. Hold on, where did I hear this before? I heard this someplace.
I guess it must have been from me though. So
It
can you
was on
just look it
I
up
watched a
and
video of it. Was it your video?
I think yes was my video.
What does it mean? I'm sorry, I've heard it before, but I don't remember at the top of my head.
Just look it up on Google and probably show it to everyone to read it. MAGA in Nigerian slangs and let people see.
Hold on one sec. Let's look at that. A slang for a gullible person, a fool, or a sucker who is easily conned, tricked, or scammed.
Exactly. That is what they are. And that is what will always be.
Can I ask you another question? Like totally
Yes,
off
sir.
topic. And I don't remember if it was Nigerian, so please excuse me if I'm completely wrong. So I do apologize in advance. But I thought it was the comedian who was talking about the Lion King song. Is that true?
No, I don't think it's true.
It's not true. Okay, damn. Oh man, I was really hoping that was true. I really would. Look, there's a lion. Sorry. But yes, I have heard that. Thank you so much. If that was your video that I saw that on, I really, really appreciate the information. That was super awesome. So thank you so much. All right, and I hope you have a good one.
Thank you
Okay.
so much. And you too. Have a great
All right.
night.
Bye bye. Look, there's a lion. Oh my goodness. Oh, maybe it was Swahili. It might have been Swahili. Shoot. That might have been on me. No, I don't want to go look it up because then it might not be true, and I don't want to find out it's not true. That'd be not fun. That'd be not fun. That'd be not fun. I don't want to find out it's not true. That won't be cool. That won't be cool. Anyways, y'all, you know what? I think I'm going to get offline for the night. Like, I think I'm just done for the night. I'm kind of tired, and that was a nice long conversation. So, I think I'm gonna get off the night. I'm tired. Big T, thank you so much for clearing those money guns off of my gift gallery. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Can we get big W's in the chat for Big T for those money guns? There's only 4 left. We're cruising through this week, so I really appreciate it. Of course, it's some of the harder ones, but I do really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Huge W's in the chat for Big T. We are going to. Oh, Tara, thank you so much too. I appreciate that. Sorry, I was looking at the gift gallery clear out because that was 2. But I will see you guys. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will be back on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central. So please get here early, get here often. Love you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night, okay?